Our dear farmers, let us fill these spaces first.
So if we need to write, okay. Good morning, friends. My name is Ben. I work with Siova Seed as a customer care agronomist. My duty station is in Kampala. So Siova Seed is formerly known as East African Seed. So if you see any of these logos, then you know you are using one of our products. I've been told most of you here have interest in maize farming, but we have a variety of products, but today we are focusing on maize. We have vegetables, which we are most known for. So I believe if you're a farmer, you have used one of our products. My name is Ben Chisitu, like I've said. You do, yeah? Okay. Yeah. A brief introduction about East African Seed, or Siova Seed. We're a company that has been in the Great Lakes region, that is East Africa, for more than 50 years. We have been here, we have tested the test of time, and we have been in Uganda for more than 25 years. So serving you in different ways of giving you seeds, better quality seeds, chemicals, tools, everything. I will be very fast. I've been informed of the issue of time. So he had forgotten his job. So before, these are national statistics. So the total area in terms of acreage in Uganda for maize production is more than 2 million hectares. The seed market potential is 50 metric tons. And those who use improved seeds, what we call hybrid seeds, are 50%. And those who don't use are 50%. So I believe by the time you leave here today, you'll be among the other 50% who use improved seed other than home-based seed. What do I mean by home-based seed? This is whereby you come and buy maize, or you get maize from a friend and you replant it. So that is home-saved seed. And when you go to a shop and buy certified seed, that is improved seed. Oh, sorry. Okay. The seed rate of maize should be between 8 kilograms to 10 kilograms, depending on your terrain. What do I mean by your terrain? If your area is very flat, or it has nothing like trees, ant hills, or anything, you are expected to use around 8 kilos. But if it has ant hills, you are expected to use around 10 kilos. 8 kilos because some of the space has been taken by other things like trees, or any other things that are in your farm, or if you are intercropping. So it will be around 8 or less if you are intercropping. And if the land is very flat, it will be 10 kilos. So that is the seed rate.
10 kilos in an acre, right?
Yes, 10 kilos in an acre.
Yes, and we are talking about the standard acre, which adds up to 4,000 meters. Either it is 40 meters by 100 or 80 by 50. I think we learned about that previously.
Yes.
Yes, please.
So we have two types of seeding. That is the single seeding and the double seeding. So most of you plant more than 4 seeds in a hole. That is not advisable. Why? Because most of you are not able to feed those seeds. So when you put very many seeds, you will find that the maize grows and it is okay, but the yield will be very low because of competition due to the fertilizers you have used. Some of you are under fertilizing, and even the nature of your soil. Your soils they have been over depleted. You plant maize season by season. So, but if you do the math very well and you use single seeded, which is around 75, you can use a spacing of 75 centimeters by 25 centimeters. That is the recommended spacing for single seeded when you are putting only one seed. And why you should put only one seed? If you use Siova products, for example, KH500, the seeds go through a variety of tests. And the first test is we have an internal germination test. We have a lab at the factory. So we do the internal germination test. Then after that, we take to Kawanda, the research, Kawanda, the certification the ministry responsible for certification in Kawanda. So they also do their test. So then we take to Chemifa. Chemifa is an international lab. If you are going to supply big organizations like FAO, you would need that certification from them. So those are 3 types of certification. So by the time we send to you the seed has already been tested and accredited to be sold to you. So you don't need to put 2 seeds if your intention is to plant one seed. So because the germination is usually very high, more than 95% for our maize. So that means in 100 plants, more than 95 will what? Will germinate. So if you are using the double seeded, that will be 90 centimeters by 45. Some of you might not understand centimeters. So that is around 3 feet by 1.5 feet. So
you can, it is very important. However much someone buys the certified or improved seed, if they miss out on some of the agronomic practices, especially spacing, it becomes a challenge. And they may come back saying that you have sold me something very, something which is not good. So I'm trying to write here, you can proceed.
Okay.
You said if you're planting per hole, right? One seed
per hole.
1 seed per hole.
You use 75 by 25 centimeters.
75 by 25. So, and you said 75 centimeters or 25 centimeters. Practically, approximately, how can a farmer do it?
1 feet of a normal person is around 30 centimeters.
Okay. So if 1 foot of a normal
so
me.
A ruler. So you take your child's ruler, it is 30 centimeters. I don't know if someone carried a ruler.
I think for us here, we say the farmer, you don't go to just, you want to buy the tape measure, no. You put hand like this, that is 15 centimeter. Then you put like this, it comes 30 centimeter, okay? Then you get a stick which is very long. Then you put hand like this, 30 centimeter. Then you put another one. Again, it becomes 60 centimeter. Then you come and put now one. It becomes 75. Then you break it there. That will now be the spacing between rows, line to line, okay? Then spacing now between the hole to hole is you put a hand like this also 15, okay? Then you come and put like this. It becomes 20, and then you come and divide it into 2 holes like that, okay? It becomes now 25 on that same stick, okay?
Slowly by slowly, some of us are slow learners, right?
Yes.
You say this is
15.
15, right?
Yes.
So 15.
Okay. Or you can untie here. You bring me. Yeah. Yeah. You untie this one. You get me. Yeah, you get. Yeah.
But you say this is
15 centimeters. 30 centimeter. Yeah.
30 plus another 30 of this kind.
It is 60.
So if you want to add
Now,
because 60 centimeters, we're remaining with how many?
15 centimeter.
So you will add how many?
Again, 1.
1 plus another 2.
Yeah.
And
One of this.
that is
75.
so that is from one
Line 2
line
to next line.
to the next.
To the next line. Yeah.
One hole, the other is 15 centimeters. If you are saying
25.
25.
and in this case you're planting just once in every hole.
Yeah.
I know most of us don't do it like that.
Let my friend saw it for us.
We want to move in a way that we understand, right? The essence of the training is to make sure that we understand and we go and do it practically.
Are we together? Are we learning something? Like the trainer said, don't go to a nearby school and ambush a master. I want a ruler. I want a long ruler. I'm busy planting in Logiri, So our body parts are rulers, okay? So let him tell us how we got it. Yes. 75 centimeters.
You do like this.
That's how many?
This is 30. Again, you do like this. This is 30. Again, here 1. 15. 75.
Are we together? Did he talk something tangible? Like did he fail? We are saying our bodies were created by God and we have measurements here, right? Yes.
Yes. This one here, like this, 15. If you add another one like this, that's 31. Again, you add another one like this, 45. Plus this one, 60.
How many?
60. And then here you add 1.
Some clap for him. If we say 75 by 45, the first figure we say 75, for example, comes between the, some farmers switch those two things and make one go the wrong way. Not so. If we say 10 by 10, the first 10 goes to, so this one we are doing 75 centimeters between the plants. By 25, sorry, between the lines. By 25 between the,
Thank you very much, my counterpart, Dixon Asiku. I didn't introduce him because I was rushing because of time. He's called Dixon. He's an agronomist of Arua. He comes from Arua. He's born here, Arua. Dixon Asiku. He works with us. He oversees. We are sowing methods. We have around 3 types of sowing methods. That is drilling. Drilling is whereby you see this piece of land. You come with your stick. Something I can use. Okay. So with those measurements in mind, the ones we talked about of 75 and 25, all 90 by 45. So you come, put and drill and put the seeds inside. That is drilling method without doing anything, without opening up the land. Then we have broadcasting. I hope by the time we leave here today, no one will be using broadcasting because this is expensive seed and we have to be organized. If you are using broadcasting, there is no way you can control your what? Your movements and even the spray of chemicals. The recommended one is dribbling. So dribbling is whereby you dig the hole, like around the hole, you dig a hole. Why we dig a hole is because we want our roots, when they are growing, to have enough space to move out, to penetrate the soil so that they can get what? The nutrients. So if you just come and dig a hole, because most people after spraying the chemicals, all the herbicides, our ASCO said there to kill weeds, they will just come dig a small hole and drop in the seeds. That is very not okay because the seeds, when they germinate, they will have to produce roots. So if those roots are just within that small portion, so they will find trouble to extend to enrich the nutrients you are putting. Remember when you are doing your top dressing, some of you just put around the crop. You don't use foliar fertilizers. So if the hand was not opened, if the land was not opened and it is very hard, so your crop will be stressed, which will lead to lower yields. So that is a point to take note of. Climatic condition for maize. Maize is a warm season crop. So it grows best in areas that have high temperatures. For example, this one, not very high, but moderate temperatures. So this area qualifies for sustainable maize growing, Arua and Uganda at large. So maize can grow anywhere in Uganda.
maybe, did I understand when you said plant sowing methods, maybe dribbling, drilling and broadcasting? Are we on the same page with our dear trainer? Where he did mention drilling, dibbling, and broadcasting? Or they should come again and repeat? He repeats again, right? Fine.
Okay, I will repeat again. Broadcasting is whereby you catch the seed in your hands and just throw anyhowly. So whatever germinates is what comes out.
Do we get him?
So that is broadcasting. It is the local way of planting. So you just throw the seed or just do like this, the seed. That is broadcasting.
Yes.
And drilling, it would be if you get a stick or maybe a spear or something very sharp and you drill in the soil and put in the what? And the seed. So the other one would be opening up the what? The land. So that you put the what? The seed with enough radius where the roots can what? can grow. So that one is the recommended one. All the rest, the seeds will germinate, but they will germinate under stress.
Are we now clear that the best method is to do dibbling, right? Where you make a hole. Broadcasting is not good because you don't know which seeds fail where. How many fail where. You get the point?
Yes. Fertilizer application. So usually we recommend. I'll go very fast in the agronomic practices of maize. So usually we recommend at least one bag of can after 6 weeks, and the second bag before tasseling. That is around 2 months. So most of you use can for top dressing or urea for top dressing. So there are some advantages of can and some disadvantages of what? Urea. So before you go, but me, I would recommend can. Why can? Because can, you see urea, it has a tendency of forming a nitrate in the soil, which makes the soil what? Acidic. So if you use that, the soil will be more acidic. And under acidic conditions, our plants cannot take in nutrients. So that is why we recommend can. So weeding, we go to weeding. Weeding, we have various methods of weeding. We have the post-emergency and pre-emergency methods of what? Of weeding. So I don't know, am I very fast? I'm very fast. Yes?
As my colleague has said, for the fertilizer, then for that I say he's fast, I know. Yeah, he will jump up to the top dressing and then the planting. Some people are maybe waiting for that planting fertilizer. Most of us here, we use the DAP for planting the maize. We normally say that when you make that hole with the hole, then you get a DAP on one water lead, this one. You measure one, then you put in that hole, you cover it with some soil layer to avoid burning off of the seeds. When you just put your fertilizer and then bring the seed, you mix them together, those seeds will not germinate. Because the fertilizer will generate a heat while releasing the nutrient. Then the seeds will not germinate, or some will germinate but very weak. That's the reason why we cover it with some slight soil. Then the top dressing, we normally say for that you top dress after the seed has reached at the knee level here, 45 centimeters away. When the seed is at the crop is at your knee level, we normally say you top dress with the urea, was to give it multi-nutrient for its vegetative part to grow very fast. Because we know that urea has rich in nitrogen, which help in the vegetative part to grow very fast. And that time there, you will also be doing your weeding. You know that maize normally determine its production in the 31st month. For the maize, after planting it and then to germinate, we normally say the farmers at least try to do weeding within 3 weeks there, because that maize determine how many crops will I put in that first month, and how many leaves will I put in that first month there. Then you end up giving it no weeding and lose the soil. You may find that the particular maize will not grow, will grow okay, but not produce you as you are needing, because of the its factor that affect it in the infant and seedling stage there. Thank you very much.
Okay, maybe what my colleague also was trying to say, like you put the DAP inside, then put on a slight soil. Then if you are planting two seeds, you shouldn't put them when they are both together, because when seeds are germinating, they release heat. So that heat will burn, they will burn each other. So when you are putting them, you separate them still. You understand that? Yes, so you separate them, and you separate them from the what? The fertilizer. So the best one can be DAP. It helps in root formation. So thank you very much.
And how does maybe DAP look like?
DAP is
Yes. Okay. You may not need to get, but DAP is that fertilizer which is black, right?
Black, yes, yes.
It is black in color.
Color.
Yes. It is good for any crop, like for root development, for the crop to develop strong roots. Please.
Yes, so thank you very much, sir. So it helps in root formation. So like he said, the weeding, like you should weed when it is at knee height, that is around here, around the 1 month or 1.5 months. So you should weed. Why we weed? There are two types of weeds. They are the broad-leaved and the small-leaved weeds. So for the broad-leaved weeds, you can weed when they are at least at maybe 6 level. They have 6 leaves. But since these small-leaved weeds, they look like maize, we have to kill them immediately. So at around 3 or 4 leaves, we have to start what? Spraying the herbicide or weeding the selective herbicide. We have to what? To weed them out. So my colleague here has brought DAP.
So this is the DAP we're talking about, this type of fertilizer. Okay, we are looking at if you are, I wouldn't want to touch it with my hand because it burns, but it's fine.
But these are maize farmers, I'm sure
Yes.
they know it. You know,
So
this is
this-
DAP, yeah?
This is a fertilizer good for planting most of the crops.
Mm.
You know, don't just go and buy a fertilizer. Know which one is good at which stage. He was talking of top dressing. Top dressing, like after planting with this fertilizer, we are looking at planting with inorganic fertilizers. But of course, we shall also look at if we don't use inorganic fertilizer, is there an alternative? So when it reaches after planting and germinating, doing your weeding, after 3 weeks, then the maize reaches this size around your knee, then you can top dress. Top dressing, in other words, you use another fertilizer which you mentioned.
Thank you very much for that information. Here I'm going to spend more time when I reach weeding. I'm going to spend more time and even pest controlling. So I'm going to spend more time. So I'll go to my chemicals. So I was very fast because I wanted to create more time to talk about the chemicals and how we use them or misuse them. So in weeding, with me, I have a new chemical. I don't know if, has anyone ever seen it in any of the shops or ever used it before? Yes, she has. So this is Jaguar. The way Jaguar works is very different from what we know. You see, we have always been incurring costs of first weeding, second weeding, but with Jaguar, that is all history. What happens with Jaguar? So after you've prepared your land very well, it is neat, you sow in the seed. Or even before you sow in the seed, or even after you sow in the seed, that is around 14 days after sowing in. Jaguar works not only on maize, but today we are focusing on maize. It works on sugar canes, carrots, potatoes, very many. So this is Jaguar, but only those crops have what? Mentioned. Please don't use it on your beans. Don't use it on your cabbages. You will find trouble. So this is Jaguar. How you use it? After you've plowed your soil very well and you are going to plant. Or you can use it after planting, before planting, all 14 days after what? Planting. A maximum of 14 days after planting. An allowance of 14 days after plowing. So how does it work? It forms a network or a system. I'll just use simple words. A system. So you just understand it as a system that inhibits the growth of weeds for more than 3 months. So if it is more than 3 months, by the time the first weed comes up, your maize is already mature, it has already tasseled, it has already even put on some combs, and it has already done some grain filling already. So how does this work? So you get this Jaguar. You mix it. It is a powder, 60 grams to 70 grams. You mix it in a 20-liter knapsack. How do we mix? If you get 20-liter knapsack, so you mix and put in the knapsack. So if it is 16, most of you ask me, I have a 16-liter, what do I do? It is okay. You just get a side, maybe a Benson, you get a 20-liter jerry can, place aside, mix, and you put in the knapsack. That is very simple. So you mix 20, then you can put in portions. Maybe you can put in 16, then the 4 liters later. So how does Jaguar work? Jaguar, you have to use it after, like your soil has to be moist. What do I mean by moist? It has to be not wet but moist. Moist soil is soil that when you touch it, somehow it is dry on appearance, but when you put your finger in it, it comes out with what? With water. So actually you can use Jaguar. Since you can't predict, you have to use Jaguar. You can irrigate. All you have to wait for rain within 7 days. So if you wait, so since you can't predict rain, so you would have to irrigate. Because you can't predict when rain is going to rain. All the best way would be to use it after it has what? Rained and drained. Why we don't use very wet soil? It's because it will distort our what? Our mixing. All the recommended 20 liter. So it will be diluted. So it will be underdosed. So that is how Jaguar works. It prevents the growth of weed. It is a pre and post emergency. So it prevents the growth of weed. So you can use it when the seed is still in the soil or when it has just germinated 14 days, and you will have a weed-free garden. All you are left with is to spray insecticide to kill maybe the fall armyworm, all the cutworms, all the borers, all to do top dressing. So, but the issue of weeding will be long gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jaguar is the future. Would you like to add on something, Dixon, on Jaguar?
I was maybe saying if you could again re-echo the plants that is applicable on.
The plants are very well labeled here. We have sugarcane, potatoes, carrots, and maize. So when you use this Jaguar, you have a weed-free garden. Actually, if I don't know, like we have used it, like these big farms, you know, these chemicals, they normally come after the big farms have already used them and they have recommended them. So these big sugarcane farms have used them, and the results are very wowing. The area are exactly weed-free. Like you have a weed-free, you can walk through without any weed. So Jaguar has that ability. It is a selective herbicide. Oh, we have about 20 minutes. So with me, I have Maximus. Maximus is the usual selective herbicide we know, whereby the weeds have grown, or they are in the maize field. So you have to spray. But like I want to re-echo, when you are spraying weeds, you don't wait for the weeds to overtake the maize. Some of you will be like, the weeds are still young. So that is the right time to what? To kill the weed. So I said for grass-like weeds, we wait for at a maximum of 4 leaves. Then we what? We spray. And for broad-leaved, a maximum of 6 leaves. Then we spray. So you don't wait. So this is Maximus. It has very strong chemicals, which I want, even if I tell you, these chemicals have been outsourced by the best. That means it has the best ability to what? To kill all those weeds in the field. So this is Maximus. Look for it. It is in all shops. We have tried to supply it here in Arua. So this is Maximus. It is a post-emergency. So it kills, and it is very selective. Maximus. For the issue of fall armyworm, we have Profecron. Profecron works in such a way that it has contact abilities. What do I mean by contact abilities? If it gets in touch with the cutworms, aphids, fall armyworm, what it does for it, the previous chemicals, they have been more of systemic, in that the insect first has to ingest them, to take them in as food. Then it kills maybe the respiratory, or maybe the stomach of the insect. But for this one, as soon as it touches the what? Any body part of the insect, all the pest, it what? It dies. So you will find all those caterpillars when they are done, when they are dead. So this is Profecron. It has worked. It has been tested. It is a very good what? Very good product. Oh, mixing rate. Now, if I just need some reminders at times. So the mixing rate is only 25 mils in a 20-liter knapsack. So you just mix 25. Good enough, this cover. Profecron comes with a cover that is well labeled in mils. So you just put 25 mils in a 20-liter knapsack and you spray, and your fields will be pest free. Some of you have been using maybe urea can, like I suggested. I was telling you why we need can instead of urea. Fine urea contains a high amount of nitrogen, but it has, like I said, it makes the soil more what? Acidic. So, and can, it's like the calcium, it does not react to form an acidic what? Soils. So that way you wouldn't have to incur costs of more lime to what? To make your soil more neutral. You know the pH has to be 7. So, but I don't want to go into that. So if you choose not to use the granular fertilizers, we have foliar fertilizers. So in these foliar fertilizers, they are the ones you put in a knapsack and spray. Like you put in a knapsack and spray. You spray as if you're killing weeds or as if you're killing pesticides. So this is Mosao Super Vegetative. It has been made in such a way that it has effects on very many plants. So it has even trace elements, those elements that cannot be found in the urea, because urea, if you look at its composition, these trace elements won't be there, and these elements are very much necessary for the growth of your maize and for looking very well. You might use the famous Vegimax for top dressing. You spray on. So Vegimax can be used as a foliar fertilizer. So that is it in agronomic practices. So, but I would like to talk about this maize. You know,
Okay, maybe before you talk about the maize, we've talked about the planting, maybe land opening, the planting, the spacing, the seed, and all that. You know, sometimes the challenge now comes, someone has produced because they followed the agronomic practices, and now the thing is in the store, and then they get problems there. They are also post-harvest pests. Could you maybe elaborate on some of them and how we can control?
so for those of you who have harvested, I'm sorry I've been very fast, because actually this session would have been, you people ask the question, because certain things I would think are basic, they might not be basic to all of us, because I'm trying to beat time, so you forgive me for that. So we have a chemical called Quickforce. Quickforce, for those of you who have harvested your maize and you want to store it. So Quickforce, yeah, this is Quickforce. It kills all those insects and pests that are disturbing. So you can use it in groundnuts, you can use it in maize, you can use it in soybean. So how we use Quickforce? Quickforce inside, I'm not going to open, smells. Yeah? So when you are opening this, you must have our knapsacks come with these extras, so you must be well dressed in a combat. Has any of you attended self-use training by the ministry? Has anyone? Okay, maybe we shall talk to the district agriculture officer to see a way of you people getting equipped of how to use pests, like how to use chemicals, like how to safeguard yourselves. These chemicals are dangerous, much as they might not kill you today, but with time they can have an effect of on your life. So this Quickforce you wear very well. You get one tablet, put it under. You put it in a newspaper, then you put it under the what? Under the, maybe if you are using pallets, then you close the room. So after 2 days, then you can what? You can come back and everything is already dead inside. So this is aluminium phosphide, is very dangerous to the human body. So that is why you have to what? You have to be like to have the protective gears. Yes, Dixon, you have something to say?
Yeah. For this one, in that room, you have not to sleep. I see that most of us we sleep together with our harvest products from the field. So for the Quickforce, you only use it in the store. By that is store, you don't sleep. You spend the night there. No, this is only a store for your crop products, not even for livestock. Only for crop products. You just put the Quickforce in the newspaper. You put it under the pallet. You close that door, which means everything there, like weevils, other things, they have to be suffocated by the quick force. If you also remain there, you close yourself for there, also you to be suffocated as a pest. Okay?
Thank you very much, Dixon. Like I was trying to re-echo safety first. Please, we love you alive. So I'll talk about our KH, the maize KH variety, which has performed very well. Dixon, which areas have we planted this KH? Because he understands the area very well.
For the KH, mostly in the West Nile, all of us has planted the KH and they have tested how it does in the field. Understand?
KH is medium altitude maize. So we are in the medium altitude in West Nile. So it will perform very well. So some of the attributes of KH 500 that you should know and why you should choose KH 500. First of all, the yield. It gives around 40 bags, 90 kilogram bags. That is around 3.5. If you followed the agronomic practices we have told you, all which I've rushed you into. So I'll leave my contact and you will have to come to the stall if you need a question, or even here we are going to answer some questions. So one of them is, like I was talking about the attributes, it is yield. It gives very many bags. And secondly, it is a double cover. So the yield doesn't just come from the air. So if a maize is a double cover, what does it mean? That means more what? More maize. More maize is going to what? Is going to be produced. So
Double cover means one stem, two cobs, or two maize, right? Yeah.
do we have some cattle farmers here? We don't. So for those of you who have cattle, all who anticipate to have cattle, this maize has a big foliage. So it is big, so that you can cut the silage and hay. So it has a good foliage. The foliage is big. So for those of you who are cutting it for soil, for animals, it is very good. So it has those attributes.
How long does it take in the garden?
In the garden, it takes 3 months. It takes 3 months, but if you want to dry it, like for it to dry in the garden, it will take 3.5 to 4 months. Like for it to dry fully, that maize you want to harvest.
And how many bags, if I follow your agronomic practices well, can I get?
You can get 40 bags. 40 bags.
In on what piece of land?
In an acre.
Okay.
Yes, 40 bags in an acre. So another attribute of this, it is its tolerance to diseases.
And maybe what is the weight of those bags? Because we have different bags.
Like
very big, maybe
I
very
mentioned,
small,
like they are standard. Actually, since this maize originates from Kenya, their bags are more of 90 kilogram bags.
Okay.
So you can do the math and see how it comes to.
Because I am a farmer, some of my bags go up to 150 kilograms. So someone will be like,
yes,
but I have only around 12 bags. Why?
Yeah, those are called export bags.
Okay.
But these bags from the garden, we measure those 90 kilogram bags. Please, not the 120 or 130 export bags, but the 90 kilogram bags. This KH500, for those of you people who roast maize, or who sells to people who roast maize on the road. So this maize, if you harvest it, it can keep the sweetness for more than a week in the maize. You know, some maize when you harvest, by tomorrow you eat, it is as if you are eating corn or something like that. So this is a sweet tasting what? Maize. So you can sell it by the roadside, and actually it is more you get more money, because you sell per cob maybe 300 or 400 for that roadside person to sell maybe at 1,000 shilling. So you make more money if you add value to it and sell it while it is still what? Fresh, other than when you have to wait and incur the costs of storage, so all those costs. So KH500, it has very many attributes, but those are some of them. I would like my colleague here, Dixon, to show us the common mistakes we make, like the difference between using a sprayer when you are killing weeds and when you're spraying insecticides or fungicides. Dixon.
Maybe before Dixon comes, I need us to go, to do a wrap-up of the major things we need to do in order to have maize or high yield, right?
Yes.
The first, we are going to assume we all know how to open our land, right? Right? That one we don't have challenges. After that, we need to get a good seed, right? Get a good seed. Whether he talked of some of us get seeds from our neighbors and stuff, but make
Yes.
sure that
Home
it is a good
seed.
seed, right? Or if you're going to buy KH or any other variety, still make sure that it is you're buying from someone who is not giving you the fake one, because we also know that the fake ones are there. You may, a farmer may go and buy KH, but maybe not the good one. So make sure you visit agri input shops that sell products that we normally call original, not fake, right? Then from there, when you've opened your land, the major thing is he talked of spacing, right? And who can remember the spacings when you're planting one seed in every hole? My sister here is saying 75 centimeters by 25. This is very important, right? And if you are planting 2 seeds in every hole, and when we are saying 75 by 25, we mean 75 centimeters between one line to the next, right? But from one plant in between holes is how many? 25. If you are planting 2 holes, I mean 2 seeds per hole, what is the spacing? Can someone remember? 90 by 90 centimeters. And I think we learned how to do the measurement, right? So 90 centimeters from one line to the next. In between is how many? 45. Very important. Then they talked of if you're planting with the fertilizer you use at planting is what? DAP. That is if you're planting with the fertilizer. Then when it reaches the knee height here, the maize grows and it reaches here. If you want to top dress, like to add more nutrients, especially the ones who are doing commercial farming, you use a fertilizer that has a lot of nitrogen. Can be, he talked of corn, you can use urea, you can use NPK or any other. We're talking of inorganic fertilizers. Then after that, one major problem in maize is, there is, if you go in the maize field, there are some kind of pests that normally eat maize at the growing tip. Yeah, you find as if there is a lot of powder. He was talking about it. Fall armyworm. That is the major pest that normally the maize farmers normally face as a challenge. So they talked of they talked of it's called what? Profecron. Plus other chemicals. And once you the most important thing about pest, controlling that pest, is that don't wait for it to first eat your maize and all of them are hollow. Because the most important thing in pest control for crops is that they are not like animals or even humans. By the time maize is eaten, or if it is now appearing yellow, in most cases, if it is, let's say, if it is this tree, if this side of the branch is dry, even if you maybe apply something, you may never recover that dry part. So it is better to prevent that than waiting to see problems and then you come with chemicals, they may not work, right? Even for vegetables, if you want to see now if it is your tomatoes, they have holes. Even if you spray chemicals, those holes will not disappear. So it is better to prevent than to cure. So as long as the maize reaches 3 weeks there, you can start spraying, such that you don't have that problem at all. So after that, if the maize grows and then you have harvest, let me talk small about storage. It is important you store in, there are some caberas called pix bags, right? You get your maize, you dry very well. Usually, sometimes farmers don't dry that maize very well, but make sure you dry the maize very well. You store in that pix bags, and then if you have like a cemented floor, or even if it is the normal floor, the one maybe with cow dung and the rest, don't just come and they put the bags down. At least get something. If you don't have pellets, these wooden pellets, at least you get maybe bricks, spread on the floor. Then you can get your bags and place on them, right? And you pile them very well. Then after that, you can use these quick force and you put in to prevent those weevils, the ones in my language we call toth, right? Toth. To prevent them from what? Eating your maize. Yeah, I think now from there we can take. But those are the basics when you're doing maize. as a business, please.
My colleague Dixon is going to show us how to use the knapsacks. You use this one, the common one. You can use that one.
I hope most of us have been using this gyroscope in our farms.
Where's the cover?
Yeah, only there.
Okay.
Some of us know how to install, but some of us we don't know how to install. This sprayer doesn't come like this, as it has already been installed. These parts they come in a box one. Just one in a box, you come and install them back. Then after installing it, then you have to know the important part here is these nozzles. Somebody will say that how we put very many nozzles here in this knapsack sprayer. These nozzles, they have their different works. It does its own work. And for you to keep this knapsack sprayer alive long, you must use this strainer for putting water. And for now, this 16 liter, then you put it on top, then you bring your water and pour through this strainer. So that when the water has some weed or some grass particles in it, then they will all be remain in this strainer. And also we have another one here. So this one here, we normally tell you after spraying, then you remove it, and then you clean it, because some remains of the let me say the soils, they go through and they come and remain here. When it is
It is trying to refuse, but we shall force it out.
you see it has small fines to sieve that water which goes on through, but this one has at least large one, which means the large particles can go through this thing, and when it goes, they come and remain here. So that after spraying, before you remove all your gloves, you remove this one and then you clean it. If you don't clean it, you keep on spraying with it repetitively, you find that your delivery tube, this one, this thing, after long pressure, when the water doesn't go here evenly, it will have to burst. Some people say that my delivery tube has burst because the pressure here, this trigger is releasing pressure. After it releases, but the water is not moving as quick as the pressure inside here is moving. So it now affects the delivery tube to burst. When it bursts, you will be coming back to Omia and buy a new one. Even if you don't keep it like the same, you keep on buying it until you come and know that the problem is here or with this one. Now you begin now lasting with the tube for long. Okay, but now for the time effect, somewhat will come and they will see what other parts will normally do. Okay, we have also rubber inside this piston. There is a rubber on top of this piston there, and that rubber you have to keep it with some lubrications after spraying. Let not keep it dry. If it is dry, it will not release gas to pump up the water easily. You have to add some lubrication there for releasing the gas
in a
easily.
simple term.
Or you add grease or this band oil.
Exactly.
Okay, you add it there,
Please.
to make the work easier. That's a symbol I can put. Then we move to the how we use it.
As my colleague is still repairing, what we should know Like when you are going to spray, you should use pure water. Don't use water you have used to wash your clothes and you use it to mix chemicals. And you shouldn't mix inside the what? The knapsack. You should mix outside the what? The knapsack. So that when you are pouring, all the impurities which might have escaped, all the chemical that has not dissolved. For example, actually I forgot to talk about, we have an additive. Something you use to help in spraying, like to help us to make the spraying more effective. It helps in the spray, in the penetration, so that the chemical is more effective. It is called ignition. Ignition is more, some of you call them stickers, some of you call them, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It helps in the performance of the chemical you're using. It has no effect on the chemical or on the plant, but it helps or enhances its performance. So those are some of the few things that most people lack out. You are spraying the same chemical, but for him he's putting in something that helps to enhance the chemical to work. Maybe he wouldn't even need to go for a secondary weeding. Okay.
So you have to fill water. And what you have to know is that before pouring any chemical in the knapsack sprayer, then you fill the water about 5 liters in it. Because some of these chemicals, they have oil. When you fill it, you pour it before, it will come out on top of the water to not be mixed easily. Now after filling the water, then you have already added your chemical.
In other words, don't get a dry knapsack and you pour a chemical and then you pour water on top. First pour some water, maybe halfway, then you pour your chemical and then you mix and then you add water on top, right?
After that refilling, then you mix it or agitate it evening so that the water and the chemical get mixed together. Like now you pick it before you pour all the water full, then you first mix it like this. You shake it. Then after shaking it, now you come and fill it full. That is 16 liter full. After which now you pick a clean stick, you dip inside, you now mix it. And we are going to show these nozzles. That's the major important of me, how we are going to use these nozzles here. Like we have 4 of these nozzles. Now, this one, if you want to spray your herbicide to kill all the weeds in the field, you use this nozzle. It will spray the chemical like we have the hipped house. They move like this. Spray. Yeah.
No, it is. Sure. You see how it is moving?
It's water. It's water.
It is just water. And please, when you do, how do they call this in English? Yeah, if you use the pressure, once you feel that hardness, please stop. Or if you proceed, you will burst the what? The piston. So you have to stop. It means it has what? It has gained enough pressure for you to what? To spray. Yes, Dixon.
This piston will be burst around here. When the pressure is too much. And this is how you are going to spray with it. Are you seeing it? It clears all the weeds, it moves like that. Doesn't leave any space without getting wet. That's for weeds. Then
I've been informed by our modulators that we are really running out of time. I hope you can agree with me why I was rushing, because time is very limited. So those of you who are interested, we have a team of agronomists, more than 5 there. So you can come to our tent in case you need to inquire or ask anything. All the different types of how to spray weeds is different from how we spray an insecticide or how we use a fungicide. So please come to our tent, we shall show you. So thank you very much. I would like to conclude our presentation by showing you this year. We won some of the things we have achieved this year. We won best seed company in ginger. For those of you who have visited the ginger, who have attended the National Agricultural Ginger Show, so we won that award. And just this year, we were nominated and we won the Vegetable People's Choice Award. We didn't know about them. We just found ourselves there and we were invited to be there and we won. So that means we are very good. We also won another one, the Excellent East African Brand Quality Award. So we also won it. Then we won another one in ginger, crop management in ginger in 2024. So for those of you, just go, when you go to the showgrounds, you just look for Siova. It is just on the other tent. You will see us. That is where we showcase some of our products. And you can also follow us on our socials. We are on YouTube. We do clips. We move around. For example, me, that's why I was using English, not the local language. I'm from Buganda, so that is where my duty station is. So we do clips in all different parts of the country, so you can follow us on YouTube. We are also on Facebook as Siova Seed Uganda. We are on Instagram as Siova Seed Uganda, X, all formerly Twitter. We are there. We are on LinkedIn for those of you who are building your profiles in. So we are also on TikTok. We are there. We are not dancing, but we are showcasing there on TikTok. So thank you very much, guys. My name, I remain Ben Chisitu, and my colleague is Asiku Dixon. He's within Arua. So if you need any assistance, he's well equipped. He has a motorbike. He can always ride to your field. If you have any assistances, or if you are an agro dealer or anything, you can always reach through him. Then he can serve you, or maybe get to me. For me, I work in head office Kampala. So we have a team of more than 30 agronomists in different parts of the country. They are in the major growing districts. For example, Arua is one of them. I came with one of Ajumani. So we're a team and we move around. Trust them. They're well experienced. And with me, someone was on the camera. I don't know if where he has gone. He's our new staff. He will be joining us in a pack. So we train our staff. We take them through.
Summarize.
I'm summarizing.
I need to pick questions from farmers, please. I think
a question,
please.
And actually, that is more important than what I was saying.
Because we've given them a lot of knowledge, so maybe there are certain things that. And also, we talked more using inorganic fertilizers. Maybe someone might be worried now. Me who doesn't use fertilizers, what can I do? Right?
Yes.
You can also use organic manure.
Yes.
We know the chicken droppings, maybe the one for the dung, but maybe even the grasses. But make sure first you decompose. Decompose in a simple term is first heap it somewhere, or you dig a hole, make it rot before you apply in the garden. Otherwise, if you apply the way it is, it can make it bad.
On that same issue of organic manure, if you put in manure which is not fully decomposed, you know, when things are decomposing, they produce carbon dioxide, the microorganisms. So that carbon dioxide reacts with the water in the soil to form carbonic acid. So that carbonic acid, in actual sense, leads to the soil to be more acidic. So if it is acidic, like I've said, the acidic soils, they don't, like this, the plants won't take in nutrients which are essential for growth. So you have to incur in more costs of what? Using lime. So you can use organic manure, but fully decomposed organic manure. Organic manure, fully decomposed, actually looks like soil.
Yes, so you can use whatever you have, apart from the inorganic fertilizer. So you can also decompose, or get maybe cow dung. I don't want to call it manure or whatever. Cow dung and other things. You get it somewhere, maybe you dig a pit, pour them, make it last for some time, and then you can dig it out and then apply in your garden. But you first dig it in the garden, right? You mix it with the soil, and then later on you plant your crops.
I think entertain around 3 questions for the interest of time.
Yes, questions. I'm seeing 1. Wow.
Maybe we can do 5.
Let's do
10.
5. Okay.
5. Okay.
Someone has brought their hands down. Okay, let's raise the hands, please.
And we see. Yeah, the actual.
Okay, I'm seeing. Okay, 1. Let's take. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly 8.
8 hands.
Yes.
We'll go with this gentleman.
Let me start from this side, and then I come.
Yes, you call me George Leko. I would like to ask you to clarify for me on the use of this DAP fertilizer. You say in planting you apply a bit of soil. So I would like to know that a bit of soil, the thickness, how much should it be? I may think I have applied a bit, but it may be more. So the crop may not even reach.
As long as you cover and you can't see the DAP, then I think that is enough soil.
Yeah. Some people even they first apply the DAP maybe today and then they plant maybe tomorrow. Like
My name's Njama George from Maracha. I've been dealing with maize so long, but what I got different here is after putting the chemical inside the jug there, and you put a pressure to mix it, how will that one be?
Repeat your question. You've understood this question.
We are not saying that after putting your chemical.
No, what I mean is you say you pour a little water there, and then after that you pour what chemical?
Yes.
Then you add much water to make it full liter.
Yes.
You can use a clean stick. For mine, I turn the tip of that gas spray. I put a spray pressure, and then I turn the tip with the air, and then I keep on staring there. How will that one be? Will it sound well or what? Thank you.
That one equally it can mix.
yeah,
But
as long as it mixes,
it mix the chemical
okay.
evenly with the water.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, there are very many ways to kill a rat, so it is okay as long as it is clean and everything. So you can. It is okay. It is recommended. Any other question?
Thank you for the presentation. My name is Emmanuel Abiti from Maracha also. Sir Presenter, help me understand how maize gets aflatoxin. When you make me understand that, then comment on Kenya's claim to refuse Uganda's maize the other time that it has aflatoxin. Was it agro-political gimmick or it was agro-reality fact? Thank you.
In other words, what is aflatoxin, first of all, right? And then how does maize come to have aflatoxin? And then Kenya rejected Uganda's maize because of aflatoxin. Was it real or it was politics? In simple terms.
For the politics, I may not know. I don't want to be taken here and to a place I don't know. But for aflatoxins, just keep your maize after harvesting very dry. You dry it very well and store it very well. So aflatoxins somehow you'll have controlled them. Just prevent the moist maize.
Okay, maybe to also elaborate, aflatoxin, you know, it's an English term. It is, toxin means poison. Now, you know, when most of us eat bread or even just cassava, the ones who ferment cassava, kogongora in my language. You know, there is that whitish kind of thing that comes on cassava or bread, right? It is called a mold. The same applies to maize. When maize, sometimes when you harvest maize or it is moist, that thing still comes to appear. You see something like powder. That is a mold. Now, those things, they release something which is poison, toxin. But that poison is called aflatoxin. And when you eat that maize which has that thing, and usually that comes because you did not dry your maize very well, right? So when you eat maize, maybe you go and grind it, which has those things. Even in groundnuts. So if you say this good groundnuts and someone mixes it with ones that have molded like that, they are endangering you who is buying it and eating. So when you eat that maize, that toxin or that poison they are calling aflatoxin, it affects your system. It is also even not good to feed that type of maize to cows. Because even if you feed it to cows or any other animals and you eat that animal, it still gets to your body. So generally, that is what aflatoxin is. So Kenya rejected Ugandan maize saying that it had that chemical or that poison in it. But we don't know if they rejected it because it was because of politics or it was really there. But we assume it was there, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, but it still comes back to the farmers. Let's dry our maize. Especially, sometimes some of us are not honest. I'm not saying our farmers here are not honest. You get very dry maize, you first put at the bottom of the sack. In between here, you put something which has not dried very well because you want the kilo to be high, right? Then on top, you put also very dry, such that when someone comes and pick a sample from the top, it is very dry. Yet in between, the maize is not very dry. And those are the problems that we normally tend to face now when we are taking the maize outside the country, right? So let's dry our maize, and then we shall not have aflatoxin, right?
Exactly.
Okay. The other questions, I don't know if there are new questions really coming.
No, they are not.
Let me go to the mama here, then I come here, and then these ones. We have known what aflatoxin is, right?
I thank you very much. I'm called Monango Naima. I don't know if my complaint is out of the topic. As we farmers, we grow banana and cassava. We're also having problem of a pest. Yes, banana and the cassava you have not mentioned.
And just the topic is about maize, but if you have problems in banana and cassava, we have broad spectrum chemicals. You can visit our tent. They are there. Our agronomists will help you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Here at the expo, there are a number of things going on at the same time, right?
Yes.
Here we are for maize, but in case you're having a challenge in any crop that you have, be it coffee, be it what, you can move. First of all, Omia, personally, I am an agriculturalist. I can help you in any crop. My friend here is an agriculturalist. Himself is an agriculturalist. So at the tent of Omia, you can find help. At the tent of other, let's say, exhibitors, aggregate and the rest, you can also find help. So just move around and ask questions. You'll be helped by any person of your choice. Is that okay? Yes.
Thank you, our teacher from Siova, to teach us. And also, this is now my second time to attend the expo here in the OPM ground. And also, I send my thanks to Omia Agribusiness because he has brought for us University of Understanding here for free. We are getting knowledge from here. Now, I have two questions. Question one may be answerable by Dixon. He was talking here about how you can use that one, fertilizer, how to plant, you go just like that. We elders, sometimes our brain is not picking your words quickly. It could be, I was just requesting, it could be better if Dixon show us how to plant on the paper there so that we can follow the instructor where he's telling us there. And then the second thing, I'm one of your customers for using your products. But the challenge I face, sometimes I'm using this one, Profecon, but expired date here, I don't know, sometimes I found it is expired. So I want you to clarify us about the expired date, whether it is using, we can use it or we will leave it. Because in the village there, most people, they are selling it expired date.
I would like just to advise agro dealers, all people in agribusiness, please buy what you can sell out before the expiry date. So after that, we can't guarantee the effectiveness of the chemical after its expiry date. It might be harmful to you, all your neighbors, or even to your crops. Please use those ones. You first check the expiry date. It is usually very long, maybe 2 years. So with that time, we expect you to have sold it. Please buy what, actually we encourage what we call FIFO. First in, first out. So you don't sell the new ones before you sell the old stock. So that is just a check that can be
maybe to add on something on that. Anything expired is not good. It means it not only applies to the chemicals. So if you're going to an agro dealer and they're giving you something expired, don't go with it. You have a right to buy something. The reason as to why they are saying it is expired is there. meaning it is no longer effective, or it turns even into something else, which can even be harmful to you or harmful to the crops. Even water, be it soda, before you take it in. Personally, I've ever bought soda which is expired, and I showed the person that, see, this is expired. So always check the expiry date. For instance, let's say for this water here, they have written here BB, meaning best before 31st of May 2025. By 31st of May 2025, it will be expired. So if you're taking it on the 1st of June, then that is not good. So even be it soda, be it water, don't buy and use something expired. That is my simple advice. Please. And then for the other question, I think it will also be very important we demonstrate it. Maybe he can be demonstrating, but maybe if we could demonstrate it from the other side, for the interest of time, it would be better.
Those who can sit here, then this is how I demonstrate my writings here. Like I told you, you have that one water lead, or this is one of the soda lead. You measure only one for one hole. Don't measure two. That one is enough for that planting season, and it lasts for about 1 month or 1.5 months. You come and top dress it after there. Some people just after planting that, they come and top dress immediately after 2 to 3 days. No, you leave it and then it germinate. It goes move to some month. Then you come and top dress it. It's like you measure it 1 liter. You put it first in the soil. That's called dab. Then you put some soil. It have to cover that dab. Cannot. It have to cover it, not appear. After cover it, then you put your maize seeds on top of that soil. Then you cover with some slight soil.
In simple terms, you've dug the hole, right? Just get a lead, scoop, pour in the soil. Just get some little soil and
time factor.
Like
don't
you
understand it
to cover it. Drop your maize and
my
then
contact is here, and then
right?
you come to my stall there.
Please.
Behind the public address, we are there. Also, other thing you can discuss.
Just a quick one. Another common mistake is people who use granular fertilizers and you dilute them, or you put them and use them as if they are liquid and you spray on top. Please, these are made granular to release slow release of what? Nutrients. So if you dissolve them and spray them on the plant, they will volatilize, or they will just what? Evaporate. So that means your plant will have less nutrients. The intended purpose won't be what? Won't be met.
Thank you. I think because of time factor, we will only take one question from the big man there. After the one question, we shall listen to Omia. Person will take us through 10 minutes of an app. Omia has come up with an app. You just dial in your phone and order for seeds. Yeah, we shall give him 10 minutes. Then we shall bring vegetable farming as a business. So we're having a training coming after here. Then we shall go to Siova and wherever and interact with them, right? Because of time factor. Thank you. Big man.
Okay. Thank you. Call me James Salah from Yumbe. I just want to ask a question. The first question is said, you have a number of this variety of this maize, but here you show us KH only. And this KH only, if you are talking about it, I don't know, because the color of these things are different. I don't know how they look like in the box there. But I want to know in the areas where we are planting this kind of maize, KH, we have some other areas where it is full of rocky. But we plant our local maize here, sometimes it can come also well. I don't know whether this one also can be advisable in the rocky areas, if they can come. I want to know. Then too, you have talked of this chemical, and you have also mentioned that you are in Kampala and the diction is in the other side of this side of Yumbe, this side of Arua. Where is the location here exactly in Arua, and also
if you have a branch in Yumbe town. These are the things I want to know before I come for more advice at your place. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being lucky to be the last person to ask a question. He talked of us me showcasing only KH500. Like we have a variety of maize. There are around 5 varieties, but in the interest of time, I can't go through all of them. But if you come to our stall, they are well displayed. So even they are up for sale. So KH was my focus today because I wanted to promote it more because I believe it has more superior qualities to work very well in this region of West Nile. And you talked about where we are located. We are located across the country, but here we are represented by Dixon. He helps, since we don't have a shop, but we supply to all agro dealers. Actually, in Yumbe, I don't know if you have a shop or if you know anyone there, our products must be there. So in Yumbe, Dixon has a motorbike. He can ride there. Yumbe, Ajumani, everywhere. We are there, so we are just mobile, but we have delivery vans that give our products to the different agro dealers. For example, Omia Agribusiness is one of our customers.
Okay, what he's trying to say is that they are suppliers, they make the products, and then they sell to people who retail. They give it to wholesale to the likes of Omia, the aggregate, and all other dealers that you are seeing their tents around, and then you can find their products with those people. Yes.
With those
and then about the varieties, there are so many varieties. Siova is one of the companies that produces seeds, but there are also others that produce seeds. So you can choose of your choice, please. He's talking about like which type of soil favors maize growth.
The best soil for any crop would be loamy, sandy loam. But this crop is adopted to a wide ranges of soil. So you can plant it anywhere in Uganda. We have done demos in everywhere, Yumbe, Ajumani, Kapchora, Kotido, everywhere. It has performed very well. It is a medium altitude and it actually almost all soils, not even almost all soils, East African, it has, the soils are almost uniform. They might be somehow different, but they are almost uniform. So it will grow anywhere, as long as the soil is not infested with diseases. All very severe diseases, but it will perform anywhere. Rocky soil, I know you mean when they have some rocks inside, it will grow. Actually, it has one of the abilities, drought tolerance. For rocky soils, they tend to drain the soil, the water very fast. That means they retain the water slowly. So rocky soils, our KH can perform under stress. It can still give, it might not give you the maximum of 40 bags, but it can give you maybe 30. So with those few words, I would like to conclude. I remain Ben Chisitu. You can visit our stall. I would like to thank the organization of Omia Agribusiness who have invited us to talk to the people here. Thank you very much. You have been a wonderful audience.
Exactly. We can join our hands and we clap better for our presenter of today. How do we clap? Someone should... Oh, someone is trying to teach us how to
We
clap.
shall say, Asante sana. Here we go. Asante sana. I didn't hear anything. We go again. Asante sana. Yongeza tena. Thank you. See your seats. Okay.
Our tent is just there. Actually, if you look there, where they are, I don't know, the DJ, where the DJ is, like where the big microphones are, we are just behind it. It is well decorated. It has Siova and you see a variety of products and there are watering cans along. So you can pass by and you take your personal questions because time might not be a factor. It is a factor actually here. Thank you very much.
Oh, actually, before you go,
like for those who are in Terego, that side of Omogo, we shall have farmers training on 17th, nearby the Orube Agro shop there, organized by the Siova Seed. You just only come with your book and a pen, you get everything there. It will start at midday sharp. It goes up to 3 p.m. at Terego. So for me, I remain here with you. Chisto will be going after here to Kampala, and then I'll remain here with makers. Farming as a business, vegetable farming, maize farming, I'll still remain here. Those who can listen the radio purchase every Saturday, this is the person who normally get at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Today I was busy, I didn't move. Thank you very much. We meet again.
Maybe before you go, but someone raised a very important concern. They talked about sometimes they buy the seed, silver and stuff, but later on after planting, it doesn't germinate. And maybe they can go back to the dealer they bought it from. They may be given other seeds. Maybe the seeds can be replaced, but as a farmer, they will have lost out on the season. They will incur more labor to do the replanting and stuff like that. So, as silver, the makers of seeds and other things, or to any other producer of seeds, how do we handle that?
Unfortunately, or fortunately, we guarantee up to the price of the seed. That means the maximum we can compensate you is the price of the seed. But in most cases, we are just lenient. Because you see this KH, I'm selling you 2 kilos, but I've sold 200 metric tons of KH. So an isolated case is usually somehow the farmer's mistake. But at times we give the seed, we replace. So you can always report to your agro dealer. He will communicate to Dixon. Dixon visits you. Then we can look for a way of what? Replacing that seed. And you do it as soon as possible because the season will be what? Leaving you.
But most importantly, maybe as a farmer, before you plant a seed, sometimes that is if you are able to buy the seed before. There is what we call germination test. Like get some seeds, right? Maybe 10. Get maybe cotton wool or even the toilet paper or anything that you have. Put the cotton wool, or if it is the toilet paper, put the seeds on top. Let's say in a plate or a container. But a container, it should be a container like, let's say like this, which can allow light to enter, right? Let's say you cut this bottle from here, right? You get, let's say toilet paper, you drop in. And then you get your seeds, maybe 10 of them, if they are maize seeds or even some vegetable seeds. You drop on top of that toilet paper. Then you sprinkle water on top. Then go and keep it somewhere in the room and see how many will germinate. If out of 10, only 1 germinates, don't plant that seed. Right? If out of 10, you can see 8, 9, then that is a good seed. It means the whole batch of those seeds will germinate. Yeah, so you can do something as simple as that to test if you should plant that seed or not, right? It will prevent you from the mistakes of planting the seed, then you realize it's not going to germinate.
Yeah, you just wait for 10 days, like you reserve only 10 days. Usually we do our tests of maize. 10 days we can know which one is good to germinate. Thank you very much, sir. I'll leave you for the next presenter. Thank you very much, Omia Agribusiness, for inviting Silva here and giving us airtime for free. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing the knowledge with our farmers. And farmers here before you, we're just going to give like 10 minutes to our IT engineer. Sometimes, some farmers have smartphones, and you might be very deep maybe in the village, but you want these inputs. Maybe you say you're in Terego or even in Zombo. Moving to the nearest big trading center costs you money, right? But maybe if you have a phone and you can just press just like airtime, maybe *156 star something, and then you order and then they deliver to you, it becomes better. So our IT engineer is going to show you how you can do that. We are trying to develop something like that that can help you order, even with your not only smartphone, but even the normal phone. You can just press and then you order and then it is delivered to you. So he's going to take us through that. And I would request that we listen to him before we think of the next activities.
After him, we will dive straight into vegetable farming as a business. And we call it a day as far as the classes are concerned.
We want to finish the classes at once for today, and then we have enough time to interact with the exhibitors, and then we learn from their stalls. So immediately after he's done, then we shall give it to the gentleman who seem to be already bursting with a lot of content to deliver to us on vegetables. So when we talk of vegetables, it involves a lot of things. The cabbage, the okra, the watermelon, much as it is a fruit, normally grouped as a vegetable. Tomatoes, so it's going to teach you all those, how you can grow and make money out of it. And this is something that you can just, cultivate on a very small piece of land and you get something. So please, Ben, you can take it on from here.
Hello. Good afternoon, all. Thank you for coming here. My name is Ben Okello. I am the IT manager. So at Omia, we have developed an app. We're trying to use technology to ensure that you farmers out there, have access to quality inputs, extension services, and we connect you to markets for your products also. I believe you've got a flyer like this. Yeah, so this is a mobile application. I am going to walk you through it. But I know most farmers in some remote areas, you may not have access to data to use the mobile application. So we have a USSD code. I've got access to this also. The code is...
Do you all have something like this? Or does your...
You can request and they give you.
You do.
You can request and they give you. But the code is... let me put it here. So on your phone, you can dial star. Star 284. Star.
It is star 284 star 173 hash.
Okay, so that is for our USSD.
For those, you can press it on any phone.
You do not need airtime to use it. You do not need data to use it. All you need is a mobile phone. Yes. So I'm going to demonstrate it also here, as you can see.
It's going to be here. So as he's pressing his phone, so this is your phone, star?
Star 284.
284.
Star 173 hash.
So after pressing that, then we'll see what comes.
So here you can select from one of the categories we have. In case you want crops, in case you want something with animals, in case you want irrigation or greenhouse, or access to market, or even extension services. So I'm assuming I'm a crop farmer and I select one.
So when we say crop inputs, it means all those seeds of crops, fertilizers, herbicides, pesticides.
Yes. So then those you choose from this. So if you're to choose fertilizers.
Fertilizer is one.
At this point, we ask you for your location. So this service is not only available in West Nile, it's for the whole of Uganda. Yes, any location, we could be able to reach them. So if we're assuming it's West Nile, you choose one. So you'll get a notification that your request has been received. Our team, somebody from our team, a qualified agronomist, is going to call you and have an interaction with you and make sure your order is processed, and it's either you walk to a shop and pick it, either it's delivered to you at your farm by an extension officer. So it's just as simple as that, and we have got the information you want. Even if you want an extension garden, an extension service, let's go back, we see extension services.
In other words, you want to know how to use fertilizer. Extension service means some kind of training that can help you do something on your farm better. Maybe if you're rearing chicken and you don't know how to, let's say, do biosecurity, how to prevent diseases. So you want someone to come and teach you. We do that at free cost, like at no cost.
So you see under extension services, we have crop support. You can ask for crop support services or animal support services.
In other crop support services, it means you will have a garden of crops and maybe there are pests or anything, and you want someone to come and help you on that. On animals, could be any animal, let's say whichever animal you have, maybe poultry, the birds, the livestock like sheep or goats and the rest. You can select. Yes, please.
So at this point, we get this information and we follow up and make sure you get the best service from a qualified and certified agronomist. We have both veterinary and animal. Veterinary for animal and crop for plants. So this is about the USSD. Please carry out, move with this flyer and test it whenever you need. We shall reach out to you and follow up.
In other words, wherever you are, even in your garden, you can just press *284 *173, and then you select what you want to be served with, and then you get a call. You explain to them what is happening, and then they deliver exactly what suits your need. I think that is convenient, right? And he said, doesn't need you to buy airtime, doesn't need you to buy MBs or data. Just having a phone with battery and maybe an MTN or
any line.
Any line.
Any line.
Please.
Just dial. No airtime, no data. The second option is if it's our mobile app. It's available on Play Store, Google Play Store.
Mobile app, in other words, you go and download, just like we have TikTok and the rest, you go and download an application like that, and then you have it on your phone. I know other farmers even have for some other applications, like I know Farm and Easy Agric and the rest. So this is one of it, if you have a smartphone.
So you first of all can browse the app and see the products without creating an account, but you can get started by going to this menu. Then you click create account, then you input details. When you input your details, you'll be given a code to verify your mobile number. You input that code, and then you'll be able to make an order online. But you can still use the app without even creating an account. All you need to do, you can skip this. So on our app, you see down here on the menu, it's the same. There are crop inputs, livestock inputs, Omia foods, if you want something from us or you want to be linked to sell your products, irrigation and greenhouses, and also extension services that are free. On this app, we also have resources where you can come and read information. If you want something to do about poultry, we have people both in the animal and crop section who have written up documents. You want to do poultry farming, you can download and read about it. You want to do cassava farming, you can download it and read about it on your phone. This is free information, free knowledge. You can access on the app.
In other words, you can teach yourself using this app. You just come here, you tap, or you download, and then you can read through. Okay, maybe if it is, let's say onion farming. How do I raise the nursery? How do I do the spacing? At what time should I do maybe spray? All those things are here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then also you can check through the categories. Let's say it will bring you a list of what we have under crops, and I want agrochemicals.
That is when you're making an order.
So this will bring you a list of the chemicals and details and the price at which it is. You can tap on this button to add to your cart. I'm going to walk you through that. But you can also go ahead and view the details of the product you want and confirm that it's the one. You see its content. You can also see other related products close to that. So all these are features if you have a smartphone and you have data.
So this one for people with smartphone and they have data. But the first one, you don't need data. You don't need airtime. You just need a phone with charged and with a line of any kind.
Yes, so from here you can add the product to your cart and then you proceed to the checkout process. In case you have to log into your account to be able to add the product, be able to make an order through the app, you have to have created an account, then you log in, then you'll be able to add a product to the cart. We shall demonstrate that again, and you see how to make an order through the application.
Adding a product in the cart is like, let's say you go to a supermarket, there is that small basket they give you, you go and pick this, you add. We can do it also here online.
So thank you for giving us time. This is what we're displaying for you, and these are some of the services we're trying to enable you access the products you need to have yields in your farms. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Okello, thank you so much. I think it is very important if we could join hands and also clap for Okello. Unless, is there any questions? Maybe two. Any question? I don't know. Are we tired? But you can come to our tent is just somewhere here. So you can come. You can actually reach out to me and then I take you there. Or I direct someone who can reach you to the tent of Omia Agribusiness, and then you understand how you can use the app or use the USSD code to, order products or extension services or anything of that kind. Otherwise, thank you so much, the two gentlemen, Okello Ben and Angwamani Desmond. Yeah. The world is moving, things are evolving. We also don't want to leave our farmers behind. Like we said, we are going to switch direct. It's going to be a very long class. We are starting to see things appearing in front of us. Me who likes eating tomatoes, I feel like already eating one. But since this is for the purposes of learning, I will not have a bite. Right? I know we've been sitting for a very long period of time. You can. If it is compatible.
Let's get up and do something small. On our toes. People are so tired, right? On our toes. Are we all up? Are we all up? Are you for real? Some are still down. On our toes. Aha. Let's sit. We get up. Hey, what is that?
Maybe.
Let's sit. Let's get up. Get up. You can see. Okay. Okay, maybe.
Maybe we do like this. If I say sit, you stand. If I say stand, you sit. I repeat. I say sit, you stand. I say stand, you sit. So sit.
Ngoni, we welcome you to this session.
Thank you so much for making time to come and spend time with us. Okay. So my name is Joel Senjala. I work with Holland Green Tech Uganda. I'm here with two of my colleagues, Leonard and Patrick somewhere. We are partners of Omia Agribusiness, and we are very thankful to the management of Omia Agribusiness for having found us fit to be a partner. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk matters vegetable farming as a business. We do understand that depending on where one comes from, this is something that we do for either health reasons, passion, fashion, or even sometimes for the money. We want to think that it is possible to have the passion meet the money component and therefore do it as a business. So as Holland Green Tech, our mission is to support the next step in vegetable production in Africa. However, like I did mention, we don't do this alone. We do it with a lot of partners, and among them is Avail Fruits of Faith Farm. To say a little bit about Avail Fruits of Faith Farm, those of you that know Eruba Primary School and Eruba Catholic Church, that facility that is there is being taken care of by Avail Fruits of Faith Farm, who are our partners, just like so many other partners that we have. We pride in the fact that for us it's not about the products or services. We also do it because we understand that there's really a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to knowledge dissemination. So, ladies and gentlemen, Holland Green Tech is a Dutch-founded company that is operating like a millipede. What's a millipede in Lugbara?
Millipede in Lubara is a obu aze eliriga power zero
Yes.
above 1 million die.
Yes, we are like a millipede that walks on 7 legs.
In an alternative language in West Nile, in my language, we say ungolo. Yeah, ungolo.
Thank you very much. So we are working with farmers through 7 different lines. Line number 1, and most important, is the soil. We take care of the soils of the farmers through testing the soil, advising them on what needs to be done in terms of correction. I eavesdropped on a submission from someone from East West saying that this fertilizer is not good, it is more acidic, this is not acidic. We actually can come to your farm and then tell you what exactly your soil needs. Number 2, we are most known for supply and distribution of hybrid vegetable seeds. Think about everything that you can find on a plate. We have that. All these are our different products. These are products that came as a result of the seeds that we supply. We have nursery inputs, as you can clearly see here. This is a tray, inside it are seeds, and then the seeds are growing in what we call pit moss. So those are the different solutions that we have for nursery inputs. We have irrigation solutions, as you will see later in the presentation. We have greenhouses, we have integrated pest management control tools, we have crop supplements, and then lastly, training and consultancy. So Leonard, you can summarize in a few words. In
Our four as a Maorochiba, Marie Kilonadi, my partners, Holland Green Tech Very, ma Zinga Avail Fambe, Avail Group, Holland Green Tech Re, Amutiaza Fepi, Kanko, you are Bipa Greek Benny, or Nepini, Vini, Fepi, Amad Farmers Roni, a Afayas Ladies, a faint your quarry, a minis Nyaku, Maria Dioniare. A mini richeki irizuri a vini mini irrigation kan ku yitabani aje banzo irrigation dria majira tete banjaje irrigation dria afarai badi yendi nazuri a vini greenhouse ye totana mesu greenhouse envero totoni the on the green isn't it so a renve a yendi a vini nasiri yendi a vini amani seeds kan kore tete di I bepe tonelo vegetable be kan ko tibi ni be didi even fende mini ore ala kan ko mini senda ala sisu erle ore mevur ma aven ore azi alani ba ama wutedi yot of the yo afa ore ala kan ko hybrid F1 kimadria afa man yo F1 de ke ore ere ye alasin aga OPVs kite open pollinated varieties kite badiki afadiki yende so the different my product as a man be zingazu dunia di as it are gamani as it are stylity as it the maida kiwar F1 as it the Bologna sas mara ameton ke woro tukamba di tukamba English tukamba ameronve Bologna RZ F1 as it the maida tutuna maybe di naru di abonzone te miyamu na mavo mimisu di softy kanko ere marua le nikini te azidi marua afa ochi wara te di marua ere nikini mini sende suzu kanko sende suzu ala askuni afaman ye de lazu na zukini dozi mama kuma ala kanko mama nyanyo do la sara dente e rizuru lazu na zukini mama rua adar ma ala yo akina ka fa tibi nyinya ama immunity ni boostira kan kwa mama immunity mama run sa opo so erevene bebe mina far yazura la mimesu afa alengazo ba ore ala di febadi my mo CDP ma ko ma boss madria however my governor amane lo aluiri azire mungonara awarfo Mr. Joel. I think you can proceed.
Okay. So we have been guided that the translation will take a lot of time and we are leaving so many people behind. So, okay. For context, it is important to note that if you're going to go into vegetable farming, vegetables constitute, at least based on the data. I don't know, can we confirm if we can see whatever is being... can someone help us? Okay, so vegetables constitute at least half of what we're supposed to consume as humans based on the recommendations of the World Food Program. It is also true that Uganda is the second largest producer of vegetables in Africa next to Nigeria. But what is also important to note for anyone getting into this business, for purposes of understanding where the opportunity is that what we produce can only meet the requirements of up to around 60%. So because of the 40% gap, we still have to import a lot of vegetables. I'm sure this is not new because even for places as far as Arua, you can still find vegetables that have been imported from Kenya or elsewhere. It is important for anyone starting a business to understand where the opportunities are. And with me here, I'll share with you what, from our own perspective, we believe are where the opportunities lie. The growing cities. Up until a few years ago, Arua was not a city. But if you understand how this affects everything involved, it means that more people will be residents in Lira because of work, or because they see opportunities as a result of the coming of the cities. So the growing population of cities creates opportunities for vegetable farmers to tap into the markets that come as a result of that. Because with cities, then that means that there's less space to grow. Most people are involved in white-collar jobs and then also in business, but they still need to eat. There's a big change in consumer behavior. People are now more health conscious. They understand the benefits that come with consuming vegetables, which also increases the demand. So instead of just someone eating a tomato and an onion, which are used for preparation of sauce, they now feel the need to eat cucumber and maybe green pepper as salads. That is a great opportunity. The growing oil and gas sectors, especially since Arua is almost in the vicinity in one of the two drilling sites. Those people there, at least the number that was shared recently, is about 15,000 Ugandans, are living and working there, but they do not grow food. They have come from all corners of the world, but they still need to eat at least 3 meals a day. Each meal should have vegetables. That is an opportunity. The need for quality produce. Even in the open market, where back in the day you could just take whatever you could produce, these days they are very picky. They want to take a tomato like this one that has a high shelf life, that when you produce, it will be highly yielding. Imagine this is one cluster and it was cut. This shows you that if you invested in a quality input, one of the advantages or opportunities that come with that is that when you go to the market, your produce will not be rejected. The short cycle crops which create high returns on investment. You can imagine in 75 days, you're going into the market if you are growing vegetables in a commercial way, and I'll later explain what commercial way means. For these ones, in just about 8 to 9 weeks, you're going to the market, and you can do so. Each crop will give you about 13 fruits, which is quite an opportunity. Now, if anyone is going into vegetable production, what do you need to have at the back of your mind even before you decide on where you're going to grow the vegetables? Number one, understand the market. We talked about the oil drillers. We talked about the fact that we are in a city. We talked about the fact that there's a huge shift in consumer behaviors. People who back in the day didn't mind what kind of tomato they eat, today they do. Number two, understand the production model and the production mix. When you're setting up a farm, it is important to understand where you're going to get money for in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term. Cash flow is very important. So you need to understand what is going to be your production mix. Number three, seed selection and raising. How are you going to raise your seedlings? It is important because this is the beginning of life in vegetable production. You can clearly see that this was not prepared for show. We just picked it up from one of our centers, but you can clearly see that this grower was quite careful when they were choosing what seed they used and how they are raising it. Number four, and also most important, irrigation and water management. You know, many people have always said Uganda is such an endowed country. We have two seasons a year, but maybe that is not enough, because looking at that, we have 4 to 6 months when we are not active. So it is important to understand when irrigation is going to be done and how it's going to be done before you get into profitable vegetable farming. Then another important thing is the crop development and management. These crops grow differently. I will give an example here. With me, are cucumbers. Each is consumed by a different market. Each is grown differently, but somehow 2 different people or the same person is growing these 2 varieties. So it is important to understand the production cycle of your crop, because it is the same production cycle that will then later inform how you do the selection of the enterprise. Post-harvest handling and marketing. Number one, which is understanding the market, comes back here. If you're going to do profitable farming, it's not only for vegetables. It is very important to understand how you're going to do the post-harvest handling and how you're going to do the marketing. Lately, you just don't grow and leave it to God that buyers will find you at your garden. You need to be very proactive in how you look for the market. In some cases, people have even gone along, have gone ahead to first seek what the information is, for the information of the potential consumers before they go into a certain enterprise, such that when they are producing what is going to be consumed by this identified market. It is important to understand to what volume or scale you need to be producing to satisfy your market. If we're talking about a community of 15,000 human beings that are consuming vegetables 3 meals a day, you need to understand how much of onions do they consume a day. That feeds back into how many acres of onions or cabbage or whatever it is that you're going to be growing at any particular point in time. So those are very important points to note. I hope they are very, very clear. We want to rush through this very fast such that we create enough time for questions.